Hi there, I'm Alex, and this is a quick tour of the Investing Timing Simulator. When you're about to buy a stock, a typical concern is about the timing of the investment. For example, a bad situation would be to put all your life savings into a stock at the wrong time, when the cost of that stock is very high. Like, for example, maybe a week later, the same stock would be like less 20%. Like, that would be a disaster. But at the same time, it is very hard or really impossible to time the market. It's hard to know when it's a good time to invest. So a typical recommendation to solve this is by doing what it's called the dollar cost averaging. Instead of investing everything in one go, you would invest smaller amounts regularly. You would spread that same money but over time. And by doing that, sometimes you end up buying at the wrong time, sometimes you end up buying at the right time. And so, in theory, over time, in the long run, you end up by averaging it out. So this tool lets you test that. It simulates you investing from a start date to an end date. So for example, we could say investing like 3 months ago and see what would happen by now. And so we can test if it's better to invest everything in one go versus investing regularly. And not only that, but if you are investing regularly, what is the best frequency to do it? Is it better to do it monthly, weekly, daily, quarterly? Is there a big difference between those? So let's take a look at how we can simulate that using this app. The way to use this app is first you will choose a ticker. So in this case, we are doing Microsoft. Then you'll choose the start and an end date for that investment and how much you want to invest. So in this case, 10,000. And then after that, all you have to do is choose the timing pattern. So for example, let's choose all in one day. Once you choose that, it will automatically run it and you will add it into a table where you can see the results. So here it says you invested one time, 10,000, and the return you get at the end is this value. And this is the return of investment in a percentage. So you can see that also in a timeline where you can say at the beginning of that period you set up, you invested at 10,000 and then over time that's how it progressed. So it dropped here a little bit at the beginning, but overall Microsoft did well. So it kept increasing, and by the end you end up having this money and you end up having that profit. You can add more strategies. For example, let's add here monthly. And with monthly, it says you've invested 3 times, you invested this money. Again, it's the same money, but spread out into 3 times. And you end up with this return and with these gains, right? And you can see also in the timeline how it does, how you end up investing here, then there was a period and you invest a second time here, and then a third time here. And you see by the end what we have. Once you want to clean this up, because we keep adding things into this table, you can simply go with clean and then you will start from 0. Okay, so let's look at Microsoft and let's do a little analysis on which strategy is better. So we're going to compare all in one go, all in one day, the first day you have from this investing period, versus monthly. So I just chose those from the Dropbox and it automatically added them into this table. Is there a difference between them? Question number 1. Yes, there's a difference. In this case, the first day had a lot bigger return. It had a return of 16.8%, plus the monthly one have a 7.8. Interesting, right? And we could kind of wonder why it did that. So if you look at the chart of the all-in-one, which is the investment at the beginning, we see that the reality is that Microsoft stock has been trending all the way up since this period, since the start of investment period. So in these cases, of course, if you put all the money as early as possible, of course, you're going to end up with a bigger return. Okay. Now let's look at the different one. I'm gonna pick Tesla. So you go and choose your ticker. You choose investment dates. I'm gonna clean up this view, and we're gonna do the same strategy. So we're gonna do the all in one day, and we're gonna do the monthly one also. First, is there a difference? Yes. Which one did better? In this case, we see that the all in one day did 1.5 return, while the monthly one did 7.8. So in this case, for Tesla, the reverse of the strategy was better. And why? Let's think of why that might have been. If you see, we invested here at the beginning, and it kind of went well for a little bit, but then it had a big drop. This is the overall view of Tesla. So Tesla had a big drop. Since that big drop, it has recovering, and by now it's just barely over that initial investment value, right? So we almost was the same as the investment, but it went a little bit up, which is good. If you've done the monthly view, the monthly investments though, what would happen is that you invest here at the beginning and it follows that big drop. So that first investment went down, but then you do the second investment. In that investment, see that it's already starting to recover. It's already in a recovery period. So it goes up. And then the third one, the same thing. It ends up going up. So you divide that 10,000 into 3 parts. 2 of those parts went up and the first one went down. So actually the monthly one here is the better one. So here we can see that the regular investing, it does balance out some of the highs, some of the lows. While on everything on the first go can sometimes have bigger returns, but it is more risky. It's almost like putting all the eggs in one basket, so it does increase the risk in practical terms. Furthermore, how about things like monthly versus weekly versus daily? So that is things you could go and try out and see what happens by using this tool. Even things like, imagine you had a magic wand where you could select the best day of the month, which is impossible. We can only find that by looking at the history and then picking up the best. But if you were able to invest at the best day of the month compared to investing on regularly at the same day of the month, does that make a difference? So that's something else you can use this tool to try out. I hope this is useful. Have fun with it. Please like and subscribe. Bye-bye.